I was planning to make a video regarding Loki being the final Straw Hat crew member, but I've made an insane discovery that took priority, as it seems we're soon going to learn the truth about Loki in the upcoming chapters, while him joining the crew will take a while. When we first witnessed him without his helmet, I realized he reminded me of someone, and I identified him with Illidan from the Warcraft franchise. Let's go over the similarities in their appearances prior to comparing their stories. Firstly, they both have big horns of similar shape. They both have long hair and are blindfolded. They are both powerful with well-built bodies. They are both naked on top and have tattoos in the same areas, while their forearms are covered. Loki's with gloves and Illidan's with bandages, and they wear pants with some type of cloth hanging over them. Furthermore, Illidan's surname Storm Rage fits Loki's rageful character. Now, I want to mention some hypothetical similarities as well. You see, Illidan has pointy ears, while we haven't seen Loki's ears, as they are covered by his hair. I've speculated Loki's mother, who giants refer to as the Horse of Fortune, is from a special bloodline of the Heaven Realm, given his size and hair color. Pointy ears could be one of her racial features. I checked Oars's ears to see if he could actually have pointy ears, only to find that he seems to not have ears at all. Likewise with Oars Jr., their long hair could be hiding them, but their placement should be peculiar in that case. In any case, King Harald, who has ancient giant blood, has normal ears. However, I did identify an ancient giant with pointy ears. I'm referring to Inbi from Kaido's Beast Pirates Numbers group, who were failed experiments of recreating ancient giants who Kaido bought to boost his army. Therefore, Inbi's appearance suggests a class of giants with pointy ears does exist, even though Inbi's characteristics could be also attributed to the failed experiment and could therefore mean nothing. I believe there is a high chance of Loki actually having pointy ears being confirmed. Furthermore, I've made a compelling case for Loki's devil fruit being a mythical zoan that can transform him to a winged serpent, and you can watch that video for more details. That means he will also have a hybrid form, where I suggest he will look just like Illidan with wings on his back. Let's read Illidan's story from the Warcraft wiki to make comparisons with Loki's arc in one piece. Illidan Stormrage, also known as the Betrayer, is the first of the demon hunters. He is the twin brother of Malfurion Stormrage and was like his brother in love with Tyrande Whisperwind. This is where things get interesting, as Illidan's brother Malfurion also looks similar to Loki, mostly due to the same features of Illidan, but he has a beard as well, which Illidan lacks compared to Loki. Loki has one confirmed brother as of now, and he is not a twin, and to the contrary, they differ racially. We do find the twin aspect in Loki's story, however. Consider how Loki was captured by Shanks and was later persuaded by Shamrock, his twin brother, to join the God's Knights, and was ultimately badly wounded by him, making him resent the whole family. Furthermore, Loki is said to have been in love with Lola, Big Mom's 23rd daughter, and when she rejected his proposal, Big Mom attempted to use her twin sister Chiffon to marry him in her place, which Loki figured out and didn't comply. We read that the Stormrage brothers were in love with the same elf, which is a big issue in their story. We lack information regarding Loki's situation with Lola, but there must be a lot to unpack, which could have insane implications. I've speculated Loki has 4 siblings in total. Is it possible that he has a twin brother or sister as well? I doubt it, but it is not impossible, as we have at least one more child of King Harald we have yet to meet. Let's continue reading Illidan's story. In the beginning, he was a powerful night elf sorcerer who officially betrayed his people by siding with the demonic Burning Legion in the War of Ancients, but his motives were noble, as his secret aim was to stop the Burning Legion's invasion. He ultimately returned to the side of his companions, but him creating a second well of eternity resulted in them naming him Betrayer, and they imprisoned him at Barrow Deeps below the mountain Hijal for 10,000 years, with Mayev's Shadow Song as prison guard as well as her watchers. so as you can tell there are notable similarities between the two characters. Loki, similar to Illidan, is hated by his people and was imprisoned, although not for 10,000 years, at Elbaf's realm of the dead, which is at the bottom, similar to Illidan's prison ground, the Barrow Deeps. We speculate Loki is innocent, and Illidan having noble intentions behind his betrayal is another indication that the same must be true for Loki as well. We read Illidan betrayed his people during a fight with the demonic legion. Remember what I said in previous videos regarding the fight at the palace when King Harald passed away? It was that they had been invaded by the demonic gods of the Heaven Realm, whose master is Ymir combined with Baphomet. Loki's actions in this certain fight could be rooted in some unknown pure motive. When Hyrudin accused him of murdering their father, he responds by, "You don't really buy it, do you?" implying that he either didn't do it or did it because of having no choice. The way he says it, as well as the fact that King Harald was kind to his children during the flashback we witnessed, suggest that King Harald wasn't a bad character either, contrary to what some believe regarding him working for the government, which has of course crossed my mind, but consider that God's Knights seem to be visiting elbaf for the first time really. They didn't even know where Loki was located, something everyone knows over there. Anyone believing the fight at the palace included God's Knights is also not considering how Loki, besides his contempt for celestial dragons, didn't seem to have pre-existing issues with the God's Knights faction when they met. Something else we read about Illidan is that he created a Well of Eternity, something likely not having a counterpart in One Piece, but its location was below the World Tree Nordrassil, which is the equivalent of Elbaf's Adam Tree, with both representing Yggdrasil from Norse mythology. In any case, the Well of Eternity's spot at Nordrassil's base is the equivalent of where the thunder strikes in the Harley mural, with that part being covered by Frankie's silhouette, so there could be something special going on there as well. Many still doubt we are going to have the rest of the Nordic pantheon gods I have proposed, such as Ymir, Odin, Thor and more. But consider the following. Firstly, we met Loki as a powerful warrior who only Shanks is said to have been able to capture. Is it possible he is the only one of his kind in the whole area? How did he grow as a fighter without sufficient challenges to overcome, as the gods of the Heaven Realm could offer? Even Kaido, who was a beast from birth, had a handful of capable antagonists. Secondly, Nordic gods have been implemented in many franchises, but it would be unusual to have only one of them included. The gods I mentioned are all included in the Warcraft franchise, including Loki himself, although Loki's inspiration in One Piece was Illidan and not his actual counterpart. Let's finish Illidan's story. When the Legion invaded Azeroth again during the Third War, note that this brings the three worlds of One Piece to mind, where the current timeline is the Third World, and a war is expected. Tyrande freed Illidan to help fight the demon invaders. Based on that, we can expect another invasion of the Heaven Realm gods, or alternatively it could be referring to the God's Knights intruders. Everything Illidan did, he did with the Burning Legion's destruction as ulterior motive, going as far as to side with them when he thought it would ultimately serve his purpose. That's when he was ordered to take care of a traitor from their ranks, the Icy King of the Frozen Throne, Lich, who ruled an undead army and seems to be the Heaven Realm's ruler counterpart. Later on, Illidan was considered the Light's chosen one by Xira, who was prophesied to put an end in the Age of Demons. He ultimately rejected the idea of his destiny being handed to him and destroyed Xira. This certain part doesn't seem to match Loki's story in One Piece, besides Loki claiming to be the Sun God and therefore technically a chosen one of the light, as well as bringing about the end of the world, that given demonic entities rule the One Piece world at the moment, could count as ending the Age of Demons. The reason for him being blindfolded is that the Burning Legion's master burned his eyes as a gift for his service, replacing them with orbs of fire, which grant him the ability to see any kind of magic. In Loki's case, I believe the blindfold is related to the myth of a serpent dripping venom over Loki, but in any case it must have given him the future sight ability he mildly demonstrated during his harassment by Gunko. As for Illidan's parents, they had already passed away prior to the Warcraft lore's events, and therefore do not grant us any insights regarding Loki's relationship with his parents. But a profound quote of Illidan was that no sacrifice is too big if it will end the Burning Legion, which could have been Loki's mindset as well regarding his father's life during the fight at the palace. To summarize, if Loki's story will unfold similarly to Illidan's based on everything else they have in common, we can expect Loki indeed has betrayed the giants in some fashion, but it was for the greater good. When he is freed, he will fight against the gods' knights and gods of the heaven realm. His relationship with Lola as well as the reason she rejected him are likely key points as well, and there could be another sibling of his playing a special role in the story. I'll be releasing more One Piece content, so stay tuned for that. Take care of yourself so that you don't miss it.